Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Clint Crowe Real Estate Show. Today we have a very special guest with us. I am thrilled to be joined by my friend and favorite lender, Miss BeLinda Dumas. BeLinda, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here.
Happy to be your friend.
Yeah, I'm happy
and
to
your
have you as
favorite
my
lender.
friend.
Yes.
Always, that's right. I've got a lot of lender friends, but you and I have been, we've been friends a long time. We've been doing business together a long time. And, you know, it's good to have people that you can have a relationship with in this business, I think. I often remark about this business being relational. I mean, we're essentially in the people business, right? Mm-hmm. You are in the people business that's facilitated through mortgage lending. I'm in the real estate business that's facilitated through the real estate brokerage business. But we're essentially in the people business. Mm-hmm. And so it's, when you do that, you need to have good relationships with people that you work with and have folks that you can trust. And that's something that I've been very happy to have with you for a long time. I won't say exactly how long.
Okay, so at least 3 locations.
At least 3 locations, yes. You've moved with us everywhere. And so
this is my favorite, though. This is amazing.
Yeah, pretty groovy, huh?
It is.
Yeah,
I love the decor and the feel, and I've loved decorating my office and trying to blend in.
Well,
it's really awesome.
And you've contributed some cool pieces to
my husband
piano
and my barn. Thank you.
Yep. And the map of the railroad map that's up on the wall in there. That you brought that. That's very cool. Yeah, we've had a good time decorating it, and I've been excited to see what we've been able to do with it and see the ideas that we had come to fruition. I think that's been really, really cool to see, and I've been excited about it. I'm really happy to hear that you're excited about it too, and that you really dig the space and
I do.
think it's going to be because you could work anywhere, and y'all have an office that's an office, obviously an outside office. Y'all have an office here, and y'all are here several days a week, but you also have your other office up in McDonough now. You made the move not long ago to McDonough.
Yes.
So, is it going pretty good, I guess? You like
that
I
think we're a franchise now. We have McDonough, and everything is closer to this area because I live in Locust Grove.
Yeah.
And we have a new satellite now in Forsyth.
Yep.
And we have a new one coming online this month in Monticello.
Monticello?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So we branching out a little bit. It's funny how, the economy and the way things are, it's not always gloom and doom. And even in hard times, like if you can continue to do well when things are hard, boy, you really kind of take off when things turn upside down. So that's why I love, even though it's hard, you still got to push through.
Yeah. And that's when so many times when things are rocking and rolling like they have been for several years before last year, before rates really started ticking up and we had a little bit of a slowdown. Before that, you didn't have time to do the things in your business that you really wanted to do. You couldn't focus on that. It was all you could do to try to get the deals done that you had. Yeah, and I think that's what really sets apart those who have longevity in the business and those who maybe don't stay in the business long term is when you have those times of a little bit of a pullback, you double down and invest more in your business so that you're ready for the next cycle. I mean, you and I have been around long enough we've experienced a couple of cycles in the
we just rewrite our policy. Hey, I say all the time, I feel like it's my rookie year because you go back to all the things that you did when you first started and works, but you get so busy you don't do them. But you just kind of revamp it up, adapt, learn some new programs, keep on going.
Yeah, and reinvest in your business and add new areas and do some things that, and I really like that you say you go back to basics, basically. That's what I've told our agents quite a bit is, the ones who have only been in the business for 3-4 years, they've never experienced anything like a normal market. They came in with their hair on fire. Now it's time for them to learn about prospecting, about proper pricing, about how to leverage your sphere of influence. And that's things that are the basics that you hadn't had to do in a while. And those of us who have been in it longer are now having to brush the dust off of those skills and, re-implement those. And so, yeah, it's a time for us to refocus.
You're going to lead
you
people
can only, you
to
can
do
only
that.
you can only go up at the pace we were going up for so long without taking a little bit of a breath.
Yeah.
And the thing that I'm really thankful for is that when we had that opportunity to take a breath, we reinvested in the business, with this building, with our new building that we bought in Macon. And I know you've got a new team member down there.
We have a lunch and learn scheduled
We
for
do have a
this
lunch and
month.
learn scheduled for, I think, next week, maybe, down in the Macon office.
Yep.
And, I know Jamie's going to be great, and we're excited about that. So I think we're going to be ready when things pick back up. And it's not like we're not doing anything now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're closing stuff. We had several closes come in today. I mean, here business is happening. It's just not the level it was,
Right.
and we're having to work a little harder for the ones we're getting.
And that's good for you, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of keeps you sharp if you have to lead other people into this is how you do it. I mean, they have to watch you. So if you don't know how to do it, you really have to brush up on it, or everybody fails.
It kind of really it's a litmus test for who's serious about it, right? Who's going to stick with it? Because if you're going to have longevity in this business, you're going to have to navigate some troubled waters from time to time.
Yeah.
But hey, look, tell me about. I know you've had some news besides moving in here with us, which we're super excited about, and I love your office and the new desk you put in there, the new old desk that you put in there. It's very cool.
Thank you.
Fits very well. You've had a few behind the scenes kind of changes, I think, and tell us a little bit about that with the, I guess, branding or the company and stuff.
So back in August of last year, I made a move by myself to open a branch in McDonough, like you talked about, with Academy Mortgage. And I went back to, just like you said before, in the business that we're in, it's about all of us together. So I followed my leadership team to Academy, and it's funny, that's actually where I had started 8 years ahead of time.
Wasn't your first time at Academy?
When we were first together in the office, I think down on 42, I was Academy.
Yep.
And I loved them, had a great time. And when Dodd-Frank, all those rules came into play, there was some things there where Academy wasn't quite ready, so we went somewhere differently. Well, when my leadership team went back to Academy, I wanted to make sure it was the right thing. And I, without a doubt, I made a move and opened the office, which I'm so glad. It's a great location and everything's working well. But then in February, we did a merger with Guild Mortgage.
Yep.
And Guild Mortgage has been around for 60 years. It was unexpected and we were surprised, but we kind of like anything, when I'm not sure what to do or things are different or out of your control, I just sit tight and see what happens. So I kind of let all the fireworks happen and just kind of, you find out for yourself a lot of things. You got to be responsible for learning your own, getting your questions answered and doing all your own research.
Yeah.
Don't depend on somebody else.
Yeah.
So I kind of dug in and I very pleasantly surprised myself, and I liked everything about it. I get in there with pricing and products, and it's all more than we had. It's just learning a new system.
Yeah.
So, I was on the same type of software for probably 15 years. So if anything was the hardest part, it was just learning new stuff.
Yeah.
But everything else is, like you said, we're closing loans ahead of time. People hear about us word of mouth because we got something done that somebody else couldn't. So it's really exciting to be able to, in this market, find a place that's stable and you still have your same people and you still have your same team. You almost couldn't ask for anything more.
And like I said, that's consistent between your industry and our industry. I mean, it's most places, I would imagine, and I think I know this to be true, are going to have similar programs here or there. Most places you're going to go. The systems may be a little bit different, but they're going to kind of do the same thing. But it's the people that really make the difference, right? I mean, that's really what was, you went, like you said, with your leadership team and the people that you had a bond with and a trust with and that sort of thing. And I think that's speaks a lot to me about, or just reconfirms to me why I think you and I have such a good relationship, because we kind of see things the same way, right? We're both about the people that we work with, and we have a great group of people here. You and your team, you have a great group of folks too, and we love having y'all around. Tell me about, I know we're doing some lunch and learns, and you talked about some programs y'all have currently, a few new programs that you've kind of got that kind of help take the edge off of this market a little bit.
One of my favorite, and it was something new to Guild. I'd never seen it until I came here, and it's exclusive with them. It's called 321, and that is the Atlanta median income limits around 102,000. So someone that makes 80% of the area median income is right around 80-ish. So people in that category can qualify for 3% down. They can get a $2,000 gift card from Home Depot, exclusively with Guild. They get it after closing within 48 hours. And then there's some credits based upon where they kind of fall in the income, but it's a conventional loan. It's reduced mortgage insurance. It's a really sweet program for somebody. It's their first house, and they have good credit, and they've saved just a tiny bit of money. Because 3% down is not that much, and it can be a gift too, or it can be your own savings. So there's so many down payment assistance programs. What I tell people is just apply. Like, let's just see what you have. Let's look at your income like an underwriter would look at it. Let's pull the right credit, because did you know there's over 50 credit models on the market?
I didn't know that.
So there's like over 50, and most of them are consumer driven. It's your credit cards, your banks, all of those, they have different models. So when you get that kind of credit score, people think they have like an 875, and they don't. They have a 652 because they're using a different model.
That's a pretty big discrepancy. I didn't know that. I don't know that I've ever run across that would be. I mean, I guess if you pull it from, you can get one free per year from Experian, and
all three bureaus will let you get a free one every 6 months.
Every 6 months.
Yes,
Okay.
so you get a free one, but there's seven different models that we use for mortgages.
Okay.
So three of them, you use three of them. So when we pull your credit, you're going to get accurate information. Okay. It's going to be the real deal. You're not going to think that Credit Karma gave you a 720 and you're qualified for the lowest rate when it's different. So why not know up front? Yeah. And then your credit report is good for 120 days. Okay. So you can shop while you, if you have to tweak some things on your credit report, like go ahead and, do it. Yeah. And then that way we can actually give you a plan. So we have tons of people that apply and they don't close for 6 to 12 months. Yeah. So definitely it's worth your time. And your credit score only makes up 10% of your overall score. Okay. Inquiries into your credit. So if it's your first time to pull credit, it doesn't tank your credit score. Yeah. Like if you do it 10 times in 30 days and somebody might say something, maybe it's going to have an effect. But I mean, typically the Bureau represents they recognize when you're shopping for a car or mortgage, and it typically only counts as one. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. And I know that, there was times in the past back when I used to actively sell and I would have buyers and stuff, that there's been a few that, we would talk and I said, hey, they're quite ready. And you'd say, yeah, they're not quite ready yet. But then you were able to take them, kind of help them work with some things, tweak a couple of things. And then in 6 months, 7 months, they were ready to go and able to buy. And that right now is big. And if, for our agents, if they're able to partner with a lender who can help their folks who are marginal get right and be able to get pre-approved and in a position where they can buy, that's going to do a lot for them in relation to that buyer and how likely that buyer is going to be to refer them, right? So just because somebody can't buy now, you don't turn them away. You get them with a qualified lender who can help them get their stuff right, and they'll be ready. And more often than not, they'll come back to you because you're the one who put the time and effort into them. So I didn't know all that about the credit scores. I mean, I know that you can get them 1,000 different places now. Just about every credit card company and all this. Oh, check your credit score. And it's has a little disclaimer on there that says it's a compilation of something, which means it's probably not accurate at all. It's probably something they just kind of,
It's almost like each company designed their own model.
Yeah.
And their own scoring. Yeah. And another thing, when you have an accurate, real credit report, we can do soft pulls and we can do hard pulls. If you do an accurate credit report with hard pulls, we also, that gives us access to all those simulators that tell us exactly how much you to pay off and how much time before you get a target score. Like, you can really drill down and be precise. So that is just a phenomenal tool. And somebody that just needs to get a little bit higher, we can do rapid rescores, where if we say, hey, pay your JCPenney's down to $50. And I mean, it's literally, $100 payment and you get 50 points. We can then take your receipt, run it through the credit bureaus and get a rapid rescore 7 to 10 days. So those are the tools that open up when you let somebody like really look into it and look at your documents, because income documents that are your tax returns and stuff is what determines what down payment you qualify for. All of it together.
And it's good to know, to have somebody look at it holistically. I think that's, I'm not going to say any names of any national places, but an online pre-approval from somebody you've never met, that you fill out an online questionnaire and all of a sudden you're pre-approved for. That doesn't really hold much weight with me. I'd rather have somebody that they actually have talked to, that I know that does that. So, and that program, that 321 program, I know I've heard you mention that before. That's pretty swanky. I mean, that's a conventional loan with a down payment less than an FHA.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
And, a lot of people use that $2,000 and go get all new appliances.
Yeah, that's nice. And the 1,000 is what that the one is for a lender credit up to 1,000, or it can be used for different things.
You do a phone interview with a counselor, about a 30-minute interview, and so based on your income level, you can get anywhere from $500 to $1,500 credit. But we say 321 because that's just catchy.
It is catchy. It's memorable. I can't even remember that. So, well, we've got about a little under 2 minutes left. So, in this, and we'll obviously have you come back too. We'll probably do this multiple times. I appreciate you. You kind of jumped in and filled in today on short notice, and I always appreciate you.
Well, this is one of these new things I've never done before. So now I can say, hey, I've done a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it's
a little bit out of your comfort level. I know, I'm proud of you.
We've got our new equipment here that we're doing now since I finally broke down and got a real camera, I guess, because my other method was not working any longer. But
we'll look back on this one and we'll say, oh, look at our first episode compared to our swanky one.
I know. We're going to get better and better. But no, anything. I always like to highlight with our guests anything that they outside of the business that they want to kind of highlight. I know that I know that one thing you and I have connected on is your faith, and you'd done a trip to Israel, and I went last year about this time.
Yeah.
And so that's very cool. I think I always want people to know something about the guest that's not just business related, right? To know you, and you and I have often shared and talked about our faith, and I think I don't know if that's what's kept us somewhat sane, if we are sane.
I know it has
through
for me.
this business. I mean, I'm assuming that we're sane still. We may just
you have to
we
be
may
a
not
little
be able
bit
to identify that we're crazy.
Yeah.
But I know that we've talked about that, and I really appreciate being able to talk to you about that too. So, but thank you for being my friend. Thank you for being on the podcast with me, and thank you for being such an awesome part of our office. And look forward to having you back soon.
Thank you for having me.